Tonight, we're ranking the top 5 Greater Seattle neighborhoods and suburbs for late-night food. And the number 1 spot is not the Seattle core name most people would guess. Late-night food is different from regular dining because the neighborhood has to feel active after the usual dinner rush fades. For Greater Seattle, that means looking beyond downtown Seattle and paying attention to suburbs, county seats, river towns, and places with real evening food momentum. This countdown rewards neighborhoods where the late-night food signal stands out, not just places with a big daytime restaurant scene. At number 5, Marysville starts us off north of Seattle, in Snohomish County, about 35 miles from the city and adjacent to Everett near the Snohomish River Delta. Its placement here comes from that clear late-night emphasis. Marysville is not just a daytime stop. It has enough after-hours food energy to break into the countdown. Walk Score gives Marysville an 81 in 2026, which helps explain why food runs can feel practical in its more active pockets. For a suburb this far north, that matters, especially because it sits in the Seattle metropolitan area while still having its own Snohomish County rhythm. The River Delta setting and its position next to Everett give Marysville a North End identity that is separate from Seattle's central nightlife map. At number 4, Bothell brings the late-night food conversation back toward the King and Snohomish County line. Bothell's strength is that it sits in both counties, giving it a broader regional pull than many smaller suburbs around Seattle. Its late-night and night-focused dining presence is the reason it lands above Marysville, especially for people thinking about the East Side and North End suburbs together. Walk Score gives Bothell an 87 in 2026, adding a useful layer for moving between evening stops without treating the car as the whole plan. That cross-county location is a big part of its character. Bothell can feel connected to multiple parts of the metro at once, which helps its evening food scene register beyond just one local pocket. At number 3, Lake City is a Seattle entry that makes the highest showing, and that already says something about this ranking. Instead of the most obvious downtown nightlife areas, Lake City stands out because the food signal is specifically tied to late-night activity. It is inside Seattle proper, so it brings a different feel from the Snohomish County suburbs surrounding it in the countdown. Walk Score gives Lake City a 91 in 2026, which supports the idea of a neighborhood where late food can connect to nearby streets and local movement. Lake City also benefits from being part of the city's larger North End fabric, where residential blocks, commercial corridors, and neighborhood-scale food stops sit closer together. That makes its late-night food presence feel more embedded in everyday Seattle life than in a single entertainment district. At number 2, Everett nearly takes the top spot, and it has a strong case. It is the county seat and the most populous city in Snohomish County, about 25 miles north of Seattle, so its food scene has more regional weight than a smaller suburb. Everett's ranking is driven by late food rather than just general nightlife, which keeps the focus exactly where it should be. Walk Score gives Everett a 95 in 2026, the strongest score mentioned here, and that makes its late-night food access feel especially credible. Everett also sits as one of the main cities in the metropolitan area and the Puget Sound region, so it is not just an outer suburb playing a supporting role. Its size, county seat status, and north of Seattle location give it the kind of civic center feel where late food can serve more than one neighborhood audience. And at number 1, Monroe takes the crown, which is the twist. Monroe sits in Snohomish County, near the Cascade foothills, at the confluence of the Skykomish and Snoqualmie rivers, where they form the Snohomish River. That geography gives it a very different identity from the Seattle core, but the late food signal is strong enough to push it ahead of Everett, Lake City, Bothell, and Marysville. Walk Score gives Monroe an 86 in 2026, and for a foothills-adjacent city, that combination of setting and late-night food relevance is what makes it stand out. Monroe's placement is also a reminder that Greater Seattle's food map stretches well beyond the neighborhoods people usually name first. With river geography, foothills proximity, and a clear after-dark food signal, it earns the top position by feeling distinct, not by copying Seattle's central nightlife pattern. So, the final countdown is Marysville at 5, Bothell at 4, Lake City at 3, Everett at 2, and Monroe at number 1. The big takeaway is that Greater Seattle late-night food is not only a Capitol Hill, downtown, or central Seattle story. Some of the strongest late-night food signals come from Snohomish County cities and suburban areas that many people overlook when they think about eating after dark. What did we miss? Which neighborhood, suburb, or specific late-night food spot would you have put in your own top 5? If you enjoyed the countdown, give the video a like and subscribe for more Seattle neighborhood deep dives across the city and the surrounding suburbs. Tell me what Seattle area topic you want next, whether it is coffee, waterfront neighborhoods, nightlife, parks, or a focused deep dive on one place. Every score mentioned in this video is sourced, and you'll find the links in the description.